Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we'll be talking about a special scholarship under the Erasmus Mundus scholarship, and this particular one is about humanitarianism. It's a master's degree, a joint master's degree in international humanitarian action. So it's part of the Erasmus scholarship that I talked about in the last video. In case you didn't watch the last video, I think you should do that. There are lots of opportunities, over 2,000 funded opportunities in the Erasmus Mundus scholarship. And this is the catalog. I shared how to use the catalog in my last video. So if you haven't watched it, please go and watch it. And it is also for different disciplines, for the practical sciences, social sciences, and humanities. And I think there is something for everybody. So if you haven't watched that video, go and watch it. So, but for today, we'll be looking at a particular scholarship under this Erasmus Mundus program. And this particular one is based on international humanitarian action. And I chose to do this one among the others. There are about 200 or more scholarships listed in the catalog. But I decided to do this one first because the deadline is quite close. The deadline is the 15th of December. That's just a few weeks away, and I want to do it fast in case any of you intends to apply for this scholarship. So there are lots of information here, and I wouldn't read out everything for you, but I'll just quickly summarize on what they mean. But actually there are 15 funded positions here, and 5 of them will be given to members of program countries, and 10 will be given to members of partner countries. Program countries are EU countries or other neighboring countries like Turkey or Iceland or Norway. So those are the program countries. Then for partner countries are other countries who are not part of the EU, are not part of these neighboring countries I mentioned. So there is a list out there of the distinctions between program countries and partner countries. So if you know you're outside the EU, you're likely a partner country, except you're from Turkey or Iceland or Norway. There are a number of other countries like that, very close to the EU. Those are considered program countries. But outside the EU, you are a partner country. So there are 10 funded positions for partner countries and 5 funded positions for program countries. So let's go straight into the admissions requirements. You could always read this on your own to get the full gist about the background information about the scholarship. I think this is the section we should go to. So this is the applications requirements. So listen carefully to make sure you have them already. So it says here that you have to fill the application form. We'll be going to that form subsequently. So stay with me as we read through this. After this, we'll go through the form. You should have a first degree already in the relevant discipline. And here they're talking about medical sciences, food sciences, economics and management, engineering, law, social sciences, educational sciences, or humanities. So if you have any degree within these fields, you're eligible to apply. Then there's also an English language requirement. And if you do not have English as your first language, you might have to do an English language test. However, if you were taught in English language, exclusively in English language, if your undergraduate degree was taught in English language, you do not need to produce either the TOEFL English test or the IELTS test. What you need to do is to show that you studied in English language. It should either be written in your transcript or you should get a letter. I think that is the most accepted one. Get a letter from the instruction here. Get a letter from your university attesting to the fact that you studied in English language. Here we also see Spanish and French. These are here because there are a number of partner universities based in Spain and France. Yeah, I think these are the universities involved. There are some based in France and others based in Spain. And you'll be rotated among at least 3 of these universities and these partner institutions. So if you do not have proficiency in French or Spanish, Make sure while filling the form, you do not put any of these universities located in Spain or France because they require a language proficiency in French or in Spanish. So be careful. Choose only those English-speaking universities or universities where you have to study in English. So just be aware of the university in France and the university in Spain. But if you do have proficiency in these languages, for sure, you could put them in there, and that's like an extra boost to increase your options. So what are the documents? So we've gone through the documents here. These are the criteria I think they want you to fulfill to be qualified for the scholarship. And here, this is how they're going to score you. The selection criteria, they'll look at your qualification, your research experience, your professional experience, especially in a relevant field, and they will look at your motivation, your concern about humanitarianism, your multicultural sensitivity, your linguistic skills, recommendations you got, interviews. So if you are invited for an interview, as it might be the case for this particular scholarship, they also consider your performance in that interview. Then they look at your nationality and gender balance. So I think they'll try to strike a balance between the number of people they accept and the gender. Probably they might do it 50-50 or 60-40 depending on their own quota. So that's it. And let's see if there are other things you have to provide. So the deadline, as I said, is 15th of December, which is just a few weeks away, and that's quite scary actually. So please start putting your documents together. It actually opened, this scholarship actually opened in October 2020. So it's been out for a while. So please try to get your documents in place. So now we'll be moving to the what they call it, the application form itself. This is where the application form is. So we are going to move to the application form itself and see the particular questions that you need to answer while filling the form. So this is what the form looks like. So just the instructions we talked about again, and some documents you need to produce. So here they said a copy of your passport, then a copy of your diploma, your transcript, your CV in English language, and your reference letters. So as usual, bachelor's degree, an English certificate as well, if you didn't study in English, or if you studied in English, get that letter we talked about from your university to attest to your English proficiency. I think somewhere they also mentioned your proof of nationality. Okay, we're going down there as well. So they're talking about your proof of nationality as well. I think proof of nationality is your passport, or national ID. Then there's this other one you have to be careful about, your proof of place of residence. A number of people do not know where to get this, but I think you could just go to the nearest local government office in where you live and ask them to give you like a certificate or something to attest that you live there, or go to a court and swear an affidavit that you write a document stating your name, your full name, probably your date of birth, stating your address and the basic details about you, containing your address and your country of origin. Then go to a court where it is stamped and then notarized. I think that's the word. So before we go to the form proper, this is the form itself, but these are just preliminary information that you need to know. So if you've stayed in the EU for over 12 months, you might not just be eligible for this scholarship. There are more info about that in this form. So if you've stayed in any of these EU countries for over 12 months, that by studying or by working, you might not be qualified, but read closely. There might be an exception for you. So read this information closely in case it applies to you. So it is asking here, do I have the minimum? I said yes. And now it is asking my preferred universities. So remember, there are about 6-7 universities there. And as I told you earlier, if you do not have the language proficiency for that particular university you're going to, please do not put it here. Do not choose that option. So here I might choose the university in Germany because they required just English proficiency, not French or Spanish. For a second university, I might choose the one in Ireland. And for a third university, I would choose, let's say, Malta. So this is home university, the university where you spend most of your time, I believe. Then there's a second university for your second semester. Remember, also choose just the English universities. Okay, Poland, Sweden, only the English-speaking universities, and Germany. So I'm trying to be careful as well, so I do not choose any French or Spanish university because I do not have any Spanish or French proficiency. So there's a third one about third semester as well. Regional placement, work placement. Okay, I'm not sure what this actually means, but let's put regional placement and see. There's probably something about the scholarship where you have to choose between regional training track or work placement track. So please read the instructions above. I just want it to be a little bit faster. That's why we're not going through the bulk of information. Try to read the instruction before you even begin your application. This is just biodata about you, your nationality, academic data, work history. Yes, it's true you've probably submitted a CV already, but repeat what you wrote in your CV. Just repeat them here. And this is the language proficiency. So put your mother tongue here. Then they also ask what language you studied with in your undergrad. So this is the opportunity you could put English here. And these are options for more languages and your rates of proficiency. Now your references, institutions, your full name, numbers, and the likes. Now the motivation letter, 3,000 words. I do not want to go in depth into motivation letters because I've done lots of videos on this already, or your motivation statement. So I'll put a link below to all the videos I've done about how to write a motivation statement. I've also shared my motivation statements, the ones that got me 2 masters and 3 PhD scholarships. All the motivation statements will be linked below, so you could look at them. But just quick words about what you should do here. So I think they want you to state, as the word implies, your motivation for applying for this international humanitarian action. So show them your background, show them what has prepared you for this degree in the first place. What did you study in undergrad? How does it relate to this course? What work experience do you have relating to humanitarianism? What research have you done? What real life experiences probably have you had concerning this course? And why is this course different from every other course? What is attractive about this course? You could compare this course with every other course, or look at the faculty, look at what they have to offer that makes them different from the other courses around. Then also look at how they will help you in your future prospects. What do you intend to do after this course, and how will this course equip you for your future goals? I think that's a summary of what I believe they want you to write under this heading. Then the second one is about cultural sensitivity. I think cultural sensitivity means how well do you blend with other cultures, how much do you engage, or are you willing to engage with other cultures. In this case, I would advise that you show that you're culturally open and give real life experiences of how you've been able to interact with other cultures. Probably you traveled somewhere, even if it is within your country, because several countries are multicultural. to show how you lived in a different part of your country and how you learned a different language, how you embraced a different culture without losing your own core culture, and show how you're able to integrate into new societies. And they want you to say this in 1,000 words. So there are lots of things to say. Could give real life scenarios. Your aim here is to show how open you are when it comes to cultural integration and how you're able to blend into new societies. So I think the best thing here is to give real life examples of how open you are, examples of things, cultural interactions you've had in the past. I think it is important to mention that here. And here they're asking for, please indicate any physical learning disabilities that you may suffer from. Do you foresee any personal problems, financial, family, cultural? So you could also put, this is a very personal one. You could also put it there. For instance, I'm dyslexic, so I would probably write here that I'm dyslexic, but I'm coping very well. I do not need any special intervention. And you can also put that here. So in case you have anything, but if you don't have, I don't think it's compulsory to put something here if you don't have. And remember, there's no asterisk at the back. So it means it is optional. When you see an asterisk most times in these forms, it means it is compulsory. But since there is no asterisk here, it means probably it's optional. So let's go to the next one. The abstract, 500 words. So they want you to write your name, your age, nationality, degree, motivation, and experience. So I think this is just a summary of the questions they've asked in the past. But just say it again, but in the summarized, concise form, and in the prose format. So don't just give bullet points. State your name, your age, nationality, motivation, and experience. Finish. No, as in complete sentences and paragraph. My name is this, born this, from this country. I studied this. This is my interest in humanitarianism. State if you have relevant work experience, since I think work experience is quite important for them. So try to look for internships, volunteer work, or if you have a concrete work experience, that is good. Also state it there. You might have said those things already initially, but just try to rephrase them and put them here, summarize them here in just 500 words. And here, how did you hear about this program? You could choose any of the options. And now it's time to upload those documents. So here, proof of nationality with your international passports usually. Then proof of place of residence. Remember what I told you? Go to the local government, the local municipality there, depending on the country you're coming from, and get a form to attest that you live where you live, or print out a document that contains your biodata, including your address, and go to a court and make sure it is notarized. So here they need your BA diploma or the certificate you received. Here your transcript, your CV, proof of language if it is applicable to you. Here you can always put your letter attesting to your English proficiency, as we spoke earlier, where they ask for English language proof. You could always put your letter of proficiency. Then recommendation letters. It's a good thing here, they allow you to upload your own recommendation letters. So you go to your recommenders, they should give you copies of the recommendation, so you could always upload them on your own. In some scholarships, they want your recommenders or your referees to send directly to the scholarship board, but here they are giving you the opportunity to upload it on your own. So you need either the physical copy, which you have to scan to upload here, or get the soft copy from your referees and upload them here. So these are optional documents in case you have any other documents you intend to add here. And here we've gotten to the end. Just you tick all the boxes to make sure. Read the instructions there. Tick all the boxes and then apply. So that's it, guys. A quick one about how to apply for the scholarship. As I said earlier, if you need a sample of a motivation letter, I've done several things on motivation letters already. So I'll leave the links below in the description box, so you could always see that. And I've given you ideas about how to write this cultural sensitivity. Show how culturally open you are. Show real life experiences of how you lived in a different environment with different culture, how you learned the culture, how you integrated with the people, and how you're open to learning new things, open-minded because you believe the sharing of ideas, the integration of cultures and things like that. So it's a good place to mention your real life experiences when it comes to adapting to new environment and new cultures. So that's it, guys. In case you have questions, write them below. I hope I'll have time to answer them. But in case you have questions, write them below for this particular course. And if there's a course you want me to look at, and if I'm free, I think I will make out time to look at quickly for you. Especially courses that align with my own discipline. So I'm in the social sciences, I'm into politics, international development, peace building, democratization, sometimes even food, sustainability, environmental issues as well. I'm also there. I might not be an expert when it comes to the what they call them, the core, what they call the core sciences like physics, biology. I might not have much to say because I do not know the technicalities of those fields. But fields you think I can always intervene, say a word or two about them, I think you can always invite me or call my attention to them, and I would look at them for you. So that's it, guys. Take advantage of the opportunity. I wish you good luck and leave your questions below. So until next time, guys. Bye bye.